Success. Everyone wants it. Everyone dreams about it. From the moment we are young, we are taught that success is the ultimate destination. Work hard in school, build a career, make money, achieve recognition, build a life that people admire. And from the outside, success looks beautiful. Nice houses, expensive cars, freedom, respect, influence, the applause of the crowd, the admiration of people who say, "I wish I had their life." But what most people never talk about is the dark side of success, because success is a price, and that price is something very few people are truly prepared to pay. You see, the world only shows the highlight reel, the victories, the celebrations, the trophies, the promotions, the smiling photos on social media. What the world doesn't show you are the nights of exhaustion, the loneliness, the pressure, the sacrifices that slowly reshape your life. Success is not just about gaining things. It's also about losing things. When you decide to chase greatness, your life begins to change in ways that most people around you won't understand. The schedule becomes brutal. The expectations become heavier. The margin for failure becomes smaller. Suddenly, average is no longer acceptable. And that's when the separation begins. Because the moment you start chasing something bigger than comfort, you start walking a road that fewer and fewer people are willing to travel. Friends who once spent every weekend with you begin to disappear from your life. Not always because they hate you, but because your priorities are no longer the same. While they are relaxing, you are working. While they are celebrating small moments, you are preparing for the next challenge. And slowly, the distance grows. This is one of the first shadows of success. Isolation, not the kind where people physically leave you alone, but the kind where you realize that very few people truly understand the weight you carry. The higher you climb, the fewer people stand beside you who truly understand the pressure. And pressure is something success multiplies. When you are unknown, failure is private. But when you become successful, failure becomes public. People watch your moves. They analyze your decisions. They judge your results. Suddenly, every mistake feels bigger. Every loss feels heavier. Every expectation becomes louder. And what once felt like freedom can slowly begin to feel like responsibility. Because when people start believing in you, depending on you, expecting greatness from you, the pressure becomes relentless. But the truth is, pressure is not the enemy. Pressure is the cost of performing at a higher level. The real challenge is learning how to carry it without letting it break you. Another reality about success that no one talks about is how quickly the excitement fades. You spend years chasing a dream, years imagining what it will feel like when you finally reach that goal. The promotion, the business success, the financial breakthrough, the recognition. And then one day it happens. You achieve it. For a moment, the feeling is incredible. You feel proud, accomplished, victorious. But then something strange happens. The excitement begins to fade faster than you expected. Because success doesn't freeze time. Life keeps moving. And suddenly, the goal that once felt impossible becomes your new normal. This is something many successful people quietly struggle with. They reach a level they once dreamed about, and instead of permanent happiness, they feel something unexpected. Emptiness, not because success is meaningless, but because the mind always moves a target. Once you climb one mountain, you begin to see the next one, and the next, and the next. Success is not a finish line. It's a never-ending staircase. Every new level demands more discipline, more focus, more sacrifice, and sometimes more strength than you thought you had. That's why many people secretly retreat from success. Not because they lack talent, not because they lack intelligence, but because they underestimate the cost of greatness. They want the rewards of success without the transformation that success requires. But real success changes you. It forces you to grow in uncomfortable ways. It forces you to develop discipline when you feel lazy, focus when you feel distracted, courage when you feel afraid, and resilience when everything around you feels overwhelming. Success forces you to confront the weakest parts of yourself, your doubts, your insecurities, your fears of failure, because the higher you climb, the less room there is to hide from them. But here is the truth most people never realize. The dark side of success is not meant to stop you. It is meant to shape you. Every sacrifice builds resilience. Every lonely moment builds independence. Every pressure-filled challenge builds strength. Success is not just about reaching a destination. It is about becoming a person capable of carrying greater responsibility. The struggle is not proof that you are on the wrong path. Sometimes, the struggle is proof that you are growing into the person your future requires. Because success does not only reward effort, it demands evolution. And the people who truly achieve greatness are not the ones who avoid the dark side of success. They are the ones who walk through it and come out stronger on the other side. The truth about success is that the higher you rise, the heavier life becomes. When people stand at the bottom looking up, success looks simple. They imagine confidence, freedom, respect, and a life without problems. They believe that once someone reaches the top, the struggles disappear. But the reality is the opposite. Success doesn't remove problems. It replaces them with bigger ones. When you begin your journey, your only responsibility is yourself. Your mistakes are small. Your risks are personal. Your failures are lessons that very few people even notice. But when success enters your life, everything changes. Suddenly, your decisions affect other people. Your words carry weight. Your actions influence outcomes that extend far beyond your own life. The pressure becomes real. People begin to expect things from you. They expect consistency. They expect results. They expect you to keep winning, keep performing, keep proving that you deserve the position you reached. And the world rarely gives you permission to slow down. Because the moment you become successful, the world quietly raises the bar. What once impressed people becomes normal. What once felt like a victory becomes a standard. And that is where many people begin to experience another shadow of success, the constant pressure to maintain it. Getting to the top is difficult, but staying there is even harder. You can work for years to build something powerful, something respected, something admired, and one mistake, one bad decision, one moment of weakness can threaten everything you built. That reality can feel terrifying, not because successful people are weak, but because they understand how fragile success really is. Success is not permanent. It must be protected, maintained, and constantly earned. Every day. This is why discipline becomes more important after success, not before it. Because when you finally reach a level of achievement, comfort begins to whisper in your ear. You start hearing thoughts like, "You've done enough. You deserve to relax. You've already proven yourself." And those thoughts can be dangerous, because comfort slowly weakens the hunger that created your success in the first place. Many people don't fail because they lose ability. They fail because they lose the edge that once drove them forward. The discipline fades. The urgency disappears. The fire cools down. And slowly, success begins to slip away. Another dark reality about success is how it changes the way people treat you. Before success, people judge you based on who you are. After success, many people judge you based on what you have. Money changes conversations. Status changes relationships. Recognition changes how people approach you. Some people will admire you. Some will envy you. Some will support you only because of what you can offer them. And one of the hardest lessons successful people learn is realizing that not everyone around them is genuine. When success arrives, new people suddenly appear in your life. People who once ignored you now want your attention. People who doubted you now claim they always believed in you. People who never supported your journey suddenly want to share the rewards. At first, it can feel exciting, but over time it becomes confusing, because it becomes harder to know who truly cares about you and who only cares about the benefits of being close to you. Trust becomes more complicated. Relationships become more complicated. And sometimes, the person who feels the most isolated in a room full of people is the most successful one in the room. Another hidden way to success is responsibility. When you are the person others depend on, failure carries a different kind of pain. If you run a business, your decisions affect employees and their families. If you lead a team, your leadership affects everyone's future. If you become a role model, people begin to watch your behavior closely. Your mistakes are no longer private experiences. They become public examples. This responsibility can feel overwhelming at times because successful people are still human. They still experience doubt. They still experience fear. They still experience moments where they question themselves. But unlike most people, they cannot always show those emotions openly. They must remain strong even when they feel uncertain. They must remain confident even when they feel pressure. They must continue moving forward even when they are exhausted. And that is why resilience becomes one of the most important qualities on the road to success. Resilience is not just about surviving failure. It is about carrying pressure without collapsing under it. It is about standing firm when expectations grow heavier. It is about continuing the journey when the path becomes more demanding than you imagined. The truth is, success is not designed for comfort. It is designed for growth. Every level demands a stronger version of you, a more disciplined version, a more focused version, a more resilient version. The dark side of success is not meant to punish you. It is meant to prepare you, because greatness requires strength, and strength is built through challenge, pressure, responsibility, sacrifice. All of these forces are shaping you into someone capable of holding the life you once dreamed about. And the people who truly achieve greatness are not the ones who run from these shadows. They are the ones who accept them. They understand that success is not just about the rewards people see. It is also about the battles no one else notices, the quiet discipline, the constant pressure, the sacrifices that never appear in headlines. Because behind every great success story, there's a person who learned how to carry the weight that success brings. There's another side of success that very few people are prepared for. It's the quiet realization that success does not silence your inner battles. In many ways, it amplifies them. Before success, most people believe that achievement will solve their insecurities. They think money will erase doubt. They believe recognition will remove fear. They assume that once they reach a certain level, confidence will become permanent. But the truth is much deeper than that. Success does not automatically heal the mind. You can build a powerful career, achieve financial freedom, earn respect from thousands of people, and still wake up some mornings questioning yourself, still wondering if you're good enough, still wondering if you can maintain the level you've reached. This feeling is something many successful individuals quietly face. The higher you climb, the more you realize how much responsibility rests on your shoulders. Every new level demands new skills, new discipline, and new strength. And sometimes a voice in your head whispers a dangerous question. What if you can't keep this up? This is where mental strength becomes a real difference between people who stay successful and those who slowly collapse under the pressure. Because success is not just a physical challenge. It is a psychological one. You must train your mind to handle uncertainty. You must develop the ability to keep moving forward even when doubt appears. And you must remind yourself that growth always feels uncomfortable. Another hidden reality about success is that the finish line never truly arrives. Most people believe success will eventually give them peace. They imagine reaching a point where they can finally relax and feel complete. But people who truly achieve great things often discover something surprising. The moment you achieve one goal, another one appears. You climb one mountain, only to see an even higher peak in front of you. This can feel exhausting if you chase success only for external rewards. If your happiness depends only on winning, you may find yourself trapped in a cycle where nothing ever feels like enough. That is why many successful people eventually learn an important lesson. Success must be connected to purpose. If you are chasing money alone, you may feel empty even when you have millions. If you are chasing recognition alone, applause will never fully satisfy you. But when success becomes connected to growth, contribution, and meaning, the journey changes. Suddenly, the work itself becomes fulfilling. The discipline becomes meaningful. The sacrifices begin to feel like investments instead of losses. Purpose transforms pressure into motivation. It transforms responsibility into opportunity. It transforms struggle into progress. And this shift in mindset is what allows some people to handle the darker side of success without being destroyed by it. Another challenge many successful people face is the fear of losing everything. When you start from nothing, you have very little to lose. You can take risks freely. Failure might hurt your pride, but it rarely destroys your life. But once success arrives, the stakes become higher. There's more to protect, more to maintain, more to lose. This fear can quietly influence decisions. It can make people more cautious. It can make them hesitate before taking bold steps. And sometimes that fear becomes a very thing that limits further growth. Because the same courage that created success is a courage required to continue expanding it. Growth still requires risk. Progress still requires stepping into the unknown. And the people who remain successful are the ones who refuse to let fear control their direction. They remember the mindset that started their journey. They remember the hunger that pushed them forward when they had nothing. And they hold on to that hunger even when their lives begin to change. The dark side of success is not meant to discourage you. It is meant to prepare you. Because the truth is, success is not only about reaching higher levels in life. It is about becoming someone strong enough to handle those levels. And strength does not appear overnight. It is built through struggle, through pressure, through moments where you question yourself, but continue moving forward anyway. Success is not simply about achieving your dreams. It is about developing a mindset that allows you to carry those dreams without collapsing under their weight. And the people who truly rise above the challenges of success are not the ones who avoid the darkness. They are the ones who learn how to grow inside it. In the end, the dark side of success teaches a lesson that most people never expect. Success is not just about what you gain. It is about who you become. When people imagine success, they picture the rewards, the wealth, the recognition, the lifestyle that comes with reaching the top. They imagine the moment where everything finally feels perfect. But the deeper truth is that success is a transformation. It slowly reshapes the way you think, the way you live, and the way you see the world. The journey forces you to confront parts of yourself that you once ignored. Your fears, your weaknesses, your limits. And every challenge along the way demands that you grow stronger than the version of yourself that started the journey. That is why the road to success often feels lonely, not because people disappear completely, but because very few people are willing to walk the same difficult path. Most people choose comfort. They choose familiarity. They choose the safety of staying where life feels predictable. But those who chase greatness step into uncertainty. They sacrifice sleep for discipline. They sacrifice comfort for growth. They sacrifice short-term pleasure for long-term purpose. And those sacrifices slowly build a different kind of person. A person who becomes mentally tougher. A person who becomes more focused. A person who learns how to handle pressure without breaking. The dark side of success is actually a test. It tests your patience when progress feels slow. It tests your discipline when distractions appear. It tests your resilience when failure tries to convince you to quit. Many people reach this stage and turn back. They decide the pressure is too heavy. They decide the sacrifices are too painful. They decide the road is too difficult. But the people who continue forward understand something powerful. They understand that success was never supposed to be easy. If it were easy, everyone would have it. The difficulty is what gives success its value. Every early morning, every late night, every moment where you push forward while others rest. These are the moments that separate those who dream from those who achieve. But perhaps the most important realization about success is this. Success alone will never complete you. You can achieve incredible things and still feel empty if you lose yourself in the process. That is why true success must include balance, purpose, and meaning. It must include growth not only in your career or finances, but also in your character. The strongest people in the world are not just successful, they are grounded. They understand that success is a tool, not an identity. It is something you create, not something that defines your entire existence. Because one day, titles can disappear, money can change, fame can fade, but the person you become during the journey, your discipline, your resilience, your mindset, those things stay with you forever. That is the real reward of success. Not the applause, not the attention, but the strength you build along the way. The dark side of success is simply the fire that forges that strength. And the people who are willing to walk through that fire are the ones who discover what they are truly capable of becoming.